Hi everyone. So I have a question and it is about negativity. So negativity is a really popular term, but we don't actually know the meaning and perceive it. So the thing is, I am obsessed with psychologists. Let me just dive a little bit into it. We do not perceive things. We actually hear or interpret what is going on within us. So, whenever I say negativity, for some it can mean body shaming, for some it can be totally different, and it can mean emotional abuse. For some, it can be a lot different, and it can be what you feel when you connect with a person. Now, negativity cannot be measured or not till now because specifically right now it is a feeling, and feeling cannot be measured, it can only be felt. So, unless we have a software that measures how much negativity comes from what person, we cannot really say for sure if the person is negative or not. And once we take a deep dive into it, we think, how can we categorize a person as positive or negative, and how do we maintain a distance from them? So I am right now dealing with this situation, and every time there is any work in my family, I have to be called. So ultimately, what happens is whenever I'm doing some work or whenever anything is happening, every 5 to 10 minutes, my name is called for one or the other purpose, and it becomes really hectic. It becomes hectic to so at such a point that at the end of the day, a headache, a mere willingness to sleep, a willingness to distance myself entirely happens. And when it occurs and I sleep, the next day I can wake up more anxious, more rude as per my family members. And this is how I perceive it. But if someone in a much bad situation where the parents don't even talk to the child, they can say at least they are talking to you, they are engaging with you. And with someone who has parents, and it is pretty good that they don't call their name entirely throughout the day but interact at some point, they are like, okay, it is a bit harsh, you can get a negative vibe, but I would not say it is entirely negative. It has a positive too, you are spending time with your family and all those things. So, how do you actually perceive it, and how do you actually change the outcome? Which is, how do you change from a negative to a positive? Now, this can also be looked at on a mindset perspective. My mindset is that I'm getting negative vibes because someone is calling my name again and again, and I cannot focus on my work. It can be changed into positive by thinking of the better outcomes, that maybe, okay, wait a second. So when I say that I don't want to be a negative person, a positive person, I will say that someone is interacting with me, they are curious about me and my life, they want to be engaged more, they think that I am important, and that's why they're calling on my name time and again. But it becomes highly hectic. And if you have ever lived in such a household, I'm basically from India, and here what we have is something called a group family. So what happens is every member of the family lives together. So in UK, US, or the most countries which I have seen, is that the children leave after they are 18 years old. It is of course their choice, but most of them leave after they turn 18. And in India, you cannot leave the house unless it is a circumstance that you cannot avoid. So if the family is time and again questioning you, your partner, or something like that, there is a huge disagreement between your partner, you, or both of you and your family members, then you separate. Otherwise you are bound to live there. And it is true for males, but for females, they have to obviously leave their home when they marry someone, or when they are after they are engaged. So this is changing, yes, of course, but many people do believe that they need to live with their parents. And when we follow this notion, it becomes highly unlikely that you will remove your parents from your life, or you will be distancing yourself. So the tips which I see mostly on social media or anywhere is that distance yourself from the person you are feeling the negativity towards. But in this case, how do you distance yourself from the parents? And when this kind of equation occurs, you need to understand that ultimately what is happening is something which needs to be looked at harder. So you need to convince your parents, you need to have a clear communication with them, and see if they are willing to change. Maybe you can say that I don't like to be disturbed from this time to this time, this is my own private time. So what happens is, sometimes in your families, or many Asian families per se, have these problem with boundaries. They just simply don't understand them and cross them time and again. If it happens, you need to have a clear communication with them and let them know that if this goes on, you might be compelled to do something for your own mental health, which is frankly fair, but it ultimately depends on you and your family. So, yeah, that's it for today. I am actually dealing with this situation currently myself, but I am leaving soon, so it is a plus point according to me. I would love to know your story, so you can connect to me through my email ID, or if you can comment down below. I don't think that you can, but if you can also comment down below and let me know. Bye.